Let's rev those engines and burn those tires because it's time for Top End Talk with Nitro Allie.
Thank you, Bob Beck, for that introduction, and welcome everyone to Top End Talk with Nitro Allie. I am your host, Nitro Allie, and I am so excited to have my very special guest here today, the drag racing wheelie poppin' grandma, Kelly Barr Anderson. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor. I just love you, Nitro Allie. You're amazing.
Well, I love you too. I love you too. And I know our friendship goes back quite a ways. And I know we've spoken before, but just to have this interview with you again, especially in light of everything that's happened this past year, is truly an honor and a privilege for me. So thank you.
Thank you.
But so for the people that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved in drag racing.
All right. Well, I'm going to say, I started drag racing at 51 years old. So you're never too late to start living a life beyond your wildest dreams. And I'm the founder of the gorgeous Irwindale Racing Ladies, which is an organization that introduces women and try just to the motorsports world. We wanted to encourage each other to be the best selves that we can be. So we had that. And I am the mother of 4, married for 36 years, 10 grandchildren. And what else did you?
How'd you get started in drag racing?
Okay, so I became a health coach. So going back, I was an alcoholic for many years. Didn't have goals, didn't have dreams. I was just surviving. And I got sober. I found God, and I became a health coach. So during the time of being a health coach for an optimal health program, they poured my mentor coaches poured so much goodness into me that I got self-confidence, and I just became a whole new person. I had always had issues because I have learning disabilities, that I was dumb. I always felt like I was dumb, and it was really heartbreaking, honestly. So to figure 50 years of my life, I just felt dumb until the coaches trained my brain that that's not the way it is. And so I got confidence, and so I was at a coach's breakfast one day, and Jamil, one of the mentor coaches, said, "We're going to napkin dream. So you're going to write down your dreams on a napkin." And I wrote, "I want a drag race." And I went home and I told my husband, I go, "Babe, I want a drag race." I don't even know. I can't even believe I wrote that, because I can't believe that even got into my head. And but God knew. God put that thought there. And my husband says, "Okay, let's go." So me being not a car person, we had put an exhaust system on my 6-cylinder Camaro.
Oh gosh.
So I thought it would sound like a V8, but it doesn't. It sounds like a 6-cylinder with an exhaust system. So I'm like, there's no way I'm taking that car to the track. And he's like, okay. So he takes it to the muffler shop, and they take it off and they fix it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm drag racing tomorrow. Tomorrow was Thursday. And that's all it took. One night on the strip to transform our lives.
What kind of car was it, and how fast did you run?
Oh gosh. So it's a 6-cylinder 2014 Camaro. I do love my Chevys. And I ran 74 miles an hour.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
That's rad.
Yep.
But you've kind of stepped up your game a little bit since then.
Yep, a little bit. So I drove that car 2 nights, only 2 times. And then I go out of town for the health coaching, and my husband's back here, and he calls me and he's like, "I found the perfect car." And I'm like, "Dude, we're not looking for a race car." And he's like, "I found it. We're getting it." And so we weren't in the racing scene yet, so we didn't know who people were. And the car had a reputation. So it was a 2000 Camaro, basically what I have now. Not as fast as she is now, but they raced it on the street. And so they named the car Trump because it was orange.
Okay.
And so we go to the track with this new car, and people are like, "Dude, is that Trump? Is that Trump?" So we kind of already had a reputation when we first started racing.
Okay.
Like we were kind of because of these guys, we were kind of a big deal. You know, I mean, it was kind of drama how the thing went down with getting the car.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we had no idea. We were just nobodies.
And you've changed the name since then. It's no longer called Trump.
Right. It's no longer called Trump. So we named her Stacy because I'm Stacy's mom. And I got my tattoo and everything.
I love it.
So yeah, the song Stacy's Mom's Got It Going On. My daughter was like, you have to name her Stacy. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
I love it. And I know I've seen it on the license plate that you have and everything.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about Stacy. What does she run in? Tell us the details on her.
So now we've upgraded quite a few times. So she's an LS3, 6.0 cast iron. And I think it's been since we've been out of the racing for a few months now because the track closing. 418, I think it is the motor size. It's a 418. Okay. And so yeah, so we tried to tone down the wheelies, but Stacy ain't having it. She likes it, and so do I.
Don't you tone down those wheelies?
Crowd.
Well, yeah, and you get a lot of engagement. Now, how fast is she running? You run 8th mile. You don't run quarter, correct?
Right. I'm geared for the 8th mile. We run 8th mile, 119, and I've run, my quickest was a 574.
Nice.
So not too shabby.
Not too shabby. And what kind of horsepower is she giving you?
800 to the wheels.
Jeez. Well, so and what's that?
She's really torquey. Like the launch, which thankfully is my favorite. When we hit it with nitrous, she just popped right up. I mean, it's a bam, 124/60-foot back tire because I'm wheeling over the laser.
Got it. Now you talk about tires. You definitely have to have some amazing tires on that car to be able to kind of handle that kind of, horsepower and torque. What are you running on that car?
Yes, we run Hoosiers all day, baby.
Yeah.
We love our Hoosiers.
And I know that they love you. We're definitely going to be talking about the Hoosier Hero. But of course, I had to do my plug because I know exactly what you're running on that car. And I know exactly why, because they put out, a quality product for sure.
They do. I mean, we run quicker with them. We always have. We ran Mickey Thompson's before, and during COVID, you couldn't get Hoosiers.
Oh, God.
So we were running Mickey Thompson, but we're slower. Okay. So Hoosiers, we pick up, I forget how much, but we go, I think, a 10th.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's quite significant. Quite significant. Now, when you first started racing, didn't you get a perfect light?
My first night on the track, I got probably my 4th pass ever, a perfect reaction. Yep. My first one. So my buddy Dan Marquez was riding shotgun with me, which was awesome because he made me feel so comfortable. Like I didn't have all like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I like I feel like an idiot staging and he totally helped me, and my buddy JT Hubbs, who works at the track. Well, I don't know if he works there, but he's always there. He helps out. He works the gate, and he gave me some tips on my trip zip, how to get one. He's like, women are better at the light, and blah blah blah. So between the two of them, got my first perfect reaction light, and Bob Beck gives me a pin and a sticker, and it's the most glorious thing.
I think you were meant for drag racing because God obviously had some divine intervention. And then the first time out on the track, you're cutting a perfect light, which I think you probably had a few people going, I've been doing this for years and I can't even get that.
I know. It's crazy.
That's exciting. Now you've had, you've tried a couple different things. You've even tried the no prep world a little bit. Yes. Tell me about that experience.
Oh, so we were about a year into racing. So pretty new. My car wasn't fast, and they were like, oh, your car will be perfect for this no prep stuff, And so we go out to Tucson where they race the back end of the track. Okay. So it's like gravel. It's not good conditions. It's worse than the street, really. Okay. But it's a safe environment. No prep. I was on the track. And so Mike Saki, who's like a champ at no prep racing, he was there, and he was like, okay, this is what I suggest. Put a little weight in the back. Don't hit nitrous. Start in second gear. So we make the first pass and do what he says. And because the guy next to me broke down, I won. So
cool.
And I'm like, well, that was boring. I'm not about that life. I don't want to go that slow. So we decided to start first. And that next pass, I went whoop whoop. I swung into the guy's lane. It happened so fast. I mean, it's crazy. I wasn't going that fast, so it wasn't like. And I just and like as I started to straighten out, I gassed it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was and thinking I'd go straight, and I went boop into the wall.
Oh no!
The first car.
Wow, and that wasn't Stacy. That was a different car.
That was Stacy OG. That was Trump.
Oh, okay, got it.
Call her Stacy OG.
Got it. Okay,
yeah.
All right. So not for you. You're not a fan of it just because of just too slow for you.
Well, it was. I mean, but you see the guys now; they're going fast. I think
they are.
Car set up for it a little bit different. I will probably go back out to Chuckwalla and do some no prep racing out there at that track occasionally. But I mean, last time we did it, I didn't run. I think I ran like 6.5.
Oh wow! Okay.
So from 5, 5.7.
Right.
I like to be in the 5s, but I mean, I was still pretty impressed. I went low 6s. I was like, all right.
It's definitely a different skill set to run the no prep side. And I think everyone has their niche, and this might be your niche right here. But at the same time, a little birdie told me that you're trying to maybe throw your hat in the ring a little bit for some land speed.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes. So we go out, my marketing mentor, Tony Thacker, he works on the Crew 7707 with Jeff Stillwell. And so we go out there and hang with Mixed Paint Crew and those guys. They are so amazing. Oh my gosh, we have such a good time when we're with those guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, I went out there one year in a depression, and the minute I stepped out of my car, depression lifted. I mean, they are just the cutest. They're so wonderful. And so we go out there, and I thought, you know what? I was talking with Jeff, and I was like, I think I want to give it a try. And he's like, there's not a lot of women, and you can set some records, and I really want to get my name somewhere out there. So I figured let's go set some records. And then I talked so Jeff connected me with a couple people. He connected me with Charlie Davis. And then James Reeser I connected with him, and I'm trying to connect with Billy Joe. And it sounds like they have a program where they could get me in a car and just go out to El Mirage. We wouldn't be doing Bonneville this time, but go out and just give it a go this year.
Or maybe just even going to Bonneville just to check it out and see and meet some other wonderful people, because land speed, I'm just starting personally to learn a little bit about it, and it really hasn't been getting the love that it should. And yes, I mean, I've been brought up around drag racing. I think that's your thing, but there's so many other things that are really extraordinary sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I applaud you for doing that and kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and like, let's rock and roll. And I think you will be phenomenal at that. And even more than that, you're going to represent the sport well.
Yes, I love that.
We do too. I mean, anytime I've seen you, you are just this ray of sunshine and so positive, such a positive energy. And for people watching, if you haven't met Kelly, if you see her, just go up and talk to her. She will talk to you, and you'll probably get a hug, and she'll invite you over for barbecue. It's just what she does,
You're so adorable.
Well, just even that time when we were at Irwindale.
Yes.
I was part of your family, and now I've made friends with your friends, genuine friendships. And it's just, I think it's a birds of a feather thing, that just wonderful, wonderful people that you have introduced me to. So
I love that. I love that so much. I mean, we got some really great friends.
Yes.
Some amazing people out there we've met. And that's just it. What got us hooked to the racing community. I mean, the racing scene was the community.
Yes.
Everybody wants to help you. Everybody's there to help. And, it's a beautiful thing. Nothing like it.
No, and people are loyal. I mean, you guys might want to grudge it out just for a few seconds on the track, but at the end of the day, you're wrenching on each other's cars.
Yep.
You're helping each other out, because that's what it should be. You can compete, but still be family.
Yep, absolutely.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, you've got your plate full with racing, but you still have your nonprofit, the Mavix Community Outreach. I would really like to spend a little time talking about that, if you don't mind.
I would love
because
it.
I think that organization is extraordinary.
Thank you.
So if you don't mind sharing a little bit about how did you come up with Mavix, what inspired you to create this organization, and a little bit about it.
So during COVID, my grandson, my oldest grandson, and his sister, so my step granddaughters, they went into foster care.
Okay.
And some of the darkest days of our lives, really. It was ugly and horrible. And with COVID, they were there for 13 months because everything was delayed. It was so horrible.
Okay.
But so I always said I knew that drag racing was my calling from God. But I thought, well, that is so strange. Why would God want me to drag race? Well, when Mavix was formed, then I realized that's exactly why. So we could introduce foster children and troubled teens to the world of motorsports. Because I know for myself, racing keeps me out of trouble. Being in the car community, car shows, anything motorsports. It's just so much goodness and love and kindness and joy that you just don't get yourself into trouble. So we wanted to introduce foster kids and make a difference in their lives. And so we've actually impacted so far over 600 children in foster care's lives, whether we've given them goodies or hosted them at the track, hosted them at our shop. We've done some events and bring the kids out, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
I love that. And you said you have about 600 kids. Let's step back. If the stats on kids in the foster system, I really think it's heartbreaking. And, I think the system, there's a lot of people with goodwill and good intentions. However, it's still somewhat broken. And do you mind sharing with us the statistics of these kids and what their life is like or potentially like after they leave the foster system?
Right. So approximately 23,000 youth age out of the foster care system, and that's between the age of 18 to 21. And what happens when they leave, 20% will instantly become homeless, half will become substance abusers, 70% of the girls will become pregnant before the age of 21, less than 3% will earn a college degree, and females that age out will be 80% more likely to be sex trafficked.
Wow.
Close to 1/5 of the prison population in the U.S. is comprised of former foster children. So, I mean, that's insane how many. And then if you think about it, like to reform them, it's going to cost to imprison one person in California. It's $132,000 annually. But if you avoid the whole problem in the beginning by getting them interested in motorsports, connecting them with really good people, and you won't have to reform them. It's easier to stay good than to get good,
Absolutely. And, and I know you've been bringing kids to the track. Tell us a little bit about, when you're able to. I'm sure there's some paperwork and a little bit of red tape you have to go through, being that they're juveniles. Tell us a little bit about those experiences that these kids have. And secondary to that, how do you feel that these experiences could potentially change those statistics?
Oh, man. I mean, I really hope and pray they do change the statistics because those kids deserve a good life and some good opportunities. And if we can bring it to them, thank you, Lord. We love bringing the kids out there. I've talked to one of the foster moms, and she said they experience things that most children that are just regular, not foster children, get to experience. We get them a track walk, Bob Beck, to the starting line, give them a tour. We take them in the tower before the night starts. So they come a little early. We'll do the track walk, and it'll tell them what, the lights do this, and give them a rundown. We would feed them dinner and entertain them, sign hero cards. And I mean, it was so beautiful. It really was. Like, they just had the times of their lives out there. And, we want to connect them with nonprofits that offer trade school scholarships. So, like, if even photography, videography, announcing, liaison, not just mechanic, they could tune. There's so many areas that you could. A chef. John Force has a chef. You know what I mean? Like, so there's so many areas, and if we can help the kids in any possible way to live a life beyond their wildest dreams, then, game on. We love that. We live for that.
Well, and I think it's great because I think what you're doing is kind of twofold, maybe even three, because you are being a positive role model and influence in these children's lives. That's huge. You're introducing them to the world of motorsports, which again, right now, as we know, we need to grow motorsports because the interest is dying, especially at the younger level. And you are also introducing them to, again, skilled trade, which I am all for. And like you said, photography, being a chef, you can wrench on the cars, promotions and publicity. All these kids are on social media. They're all about. So it's just turning that into a professional career, and you're showing them these opportunities that are available to them that they may not realize. I don't want to say if they're sheltered from motorsports or anything else, but they just may not realize that those are out there, and they can have a good, solid career and be a contributing member of society once they are out of this program. And it's really sad because I've seen it firsthand in my line of work that these kids really are just thrown to the wolves, essentially, go fend for yourself. And that's hard. And that's very scary.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think you giving them those opportunities. Now, has there been any kind of big brother, big sister program, maybe with I'll just say the more seasoned youth drivers? Is there anything implemented like that to your knowledge yet?
Not that I know of. Not with us.
Okay.
Yeah. We were going to work with someone and put a foster kid in a dragster, a youth dragster, but that hasn't happened yet. And now the home track kind of put a little damper on that. So.
Right. Yeah. And we'll talk about Irwindale and the track closures in a minute, but what about, has there been any pro teams, sportsman class teams, anyone that you know of that has been willing to bring these kids in and give them an experience? Go ahead and share.
Yes. Alex Milenovich reached out to me, and he is a hot for teacher driver.
Okay.
Funny car. Love him. He is a blast. Oh my gosh. He's such a great guy. And he messaged me and says, do you have any foster children, teens that are looking to learn a trade, work on the car, make it a job? It wouldn't be you're coming out here doing the grunt work and running, do this, do that, do this, and not get paid. What an opportunity. I said, I want the job. I want to get trained and get paid. So, unfortunately, we don't really work in the Orange County area, and we need to find a teen out in the Orange County area. So if y'all know of any foster teens, hit me up.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully this will get shared and somebody somewhere will see it and go, I have the perfect person. Because, God bless you, Alex, and God bless you for doing that and really trying to make a difference in the life of a child. And even if it's one life, you don't know. That could be one life literally saved.
Yep. And the generational line. That
Absolutely.
Thousands of people, over the years. One person is a huge success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then, I know you've got, your group that kind of helps you with Mavix. Let's shine some light on I don't want to say staff, that just your Mavix community.
Okay. So the co-founder, Maria Link, she's amazing. She's been on board since day one when I started racing. She's been coming out pretty much every time we race. I said I want to start the nonprofit, and she came up with the name. So I had a sponsor that said I was a Maven. So Maven means a woman who brings people together. And I've founded a few AA meetings, a Marijuana's Anonymous meeting. So I was good at that. And then the day after he told me I'm a Maven, I started the Girls of Irwindale. So,
I love it.
Yeah. So she took Maven and Phoenix, rise from you're so cute.
There we go.
So she took Maven and Phoenix, rise from the ashes, and made Mavix.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah. So you've got quite a group there. So that's just her. Who else do you have that you'd like to
my husband, Paul. So my husband, Paul, whatever I say, he pretty much says, let's go. All right, let's do it.
And he's really kind of been your rock and foundation through everything. You want to talk about him a little bit?
Yep. So we've been together 40 years. Crazy. Can't believe I feel 40, so can't believe I have 40 years ago. So we've been together 40 years. Yeah, he's a great supporter. Everything I say, he says, "Okay, let's go. Let's do it. What can I do to help you?" It's amazing.
And it's funny that you say that, because I know even at PRI, and I've seen him, at some other, events, and I'm looking at your husband, looking at you,
Gosh.
and how he looks at you. There's so much pride and joy, and he looks at you like, that's my wife. And look at her go, and just the love that and you're not seeing it,
No.
because you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
But I'm watching him, and that just makes my heart so happy to see him putting you on this pedestal, and so proud that you're there. And
Not where I came from. Passed out in the bed for years. He saw the ugly, and he's grateful that we have this life now.
But you know what? And again, I do want to, and that's why I wanted you to talk about him and give him some props, because it's not easy, and everyone has their trials in life.
Right.
And he loves you. He saw the good.
Yeah.
And here's the good. Look at all the good that you are doing. And I think maybe it's just that sense of pride that he saw you through those difficult times.
Because he could have given up on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. When so we became legal to foster, and during the process, the guy would come to my house and he was interviewing me for hours. And he goes, "Okay, what age would you not want to take in?" And I said, "What age would there be?" He said, "Teens. That's when the trouble starts." And I teared up, and I was like, "I want the teens. That's what I want." And then that's where my heart really grew to the teens. I worked at group homes, some boys' homes. I was going out there, and we'd go for walks and just hang out. And yeah, those kids have my heart. So Paul not giving, and I say, what if he would have given up on me? And I was like 40, or whatever. I don't know how old I was when I got sober, or maybe 40 something. But he didn't give up on me. We're not giving up on these teens and these children.
I love that. How many children have you mentored or fostered since you started?
Well, we've hosted events to where we've impacted 600 kids. At the boys' homes, when I was there was a few boys. There's still a boy, Gabriel, I still talk to. Sweet kid. So sweet. Oh my gosh, such a doll. He loved our walks.
Oh.
Yeah. And then a couple other boys at the other homes. Some of the kids didn't want really much to do with me. I did, so back before I knew Mavix was gonna come, I fundraised for punching bags, a punching bag, and then bikes. People donated bikes that were used, but kids got the bikes, and we went to, so we couldn't videotape. You can't videotape. So me and my husband bring the bikes, and the kids are riding up and down the hill, and they're teenagers, so they're in a group home, and they're riding up and down the hill, and I was standing there with tears in my eyes. My husband goes, "I'm glad you can't videotape this, because then you get to enjoy the experience." And I did. I soaked that moment up like I will never forget that. It was precious. But they got a nice big punching bag from my friend Jason Wick. He bought them a punching bag, a nice big stand one, and so we got to make a difference, to make the kids have a little bit of fun there.
I love that. I love everything that you're doing. You're influencing so many kids' lives through your personal hobby, through your community outreach, and you're also doing things as well with the NHRA Yes program.
Oh, we have gone to the Yes program, which is awesome. Oh my gosh. Search it if you haven't. If you've never heard of it, find it. They do it. I don't know if they do it twice a year at Pomona. Do they do it both?
I think so.
Okay.
And I think they do it. I think they do it at all the races.
Oh, it's amazing.
I know I've seen it in Vegas as well.
Oh, it is so cool. Like, all these kids come out. We brought our car, brought hero cards and stickers. And I mean, there's thousands and thousands of teenagers, kids that come for free. So they come, they take a tour, they take a little 15-minute class or whatever, and then they get to go watch the drag racing all day for free. And I think they get to bring a parent.
Mm-hmm.
The parent, they come for free, and parking's free. Like, how cool is that?
Absolutely.
I mean, oh my gosh, it's so heartwarming. So much fun. Yeah. And my buddy, Detective Andrew Arms, he's LASD.
Okay.
He has a program where they're trying to help foster kids. I'm not sure if it's foster the youth,
Okay.
trying to keep them, safe, trying to get them interested in the motorsports and learn not to do any street racing and stuff like that.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's another topic that I definitely want to touch on too in a minute. But with you though, you've just gone through all of these amazing things. You've had a troubled past. You've overcome some difficulties that some people aren't even alive to say that they were able to overcome. It took their lives, but you were strong enough to do that with a great support. You were taking that knowledge, that support, and you're changing the lives of children in so many ways. You are building the sport of drag racing by influencing the youth and bringing them on board, and even influencing, I'll just say middle-aged women to say, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. You are growing the sport. You are an ambassador to the sport. You're doing all these wonderful things on a mentor capacity. And I think that's one of the many reasons that you were selected as a Hoosier Hero.
Dreams do come true.
And I know, just the Hoosier Hero, being selected to be one of them is such a privilege and an honor, because you truly have to represent motorsports in an elevated capacity. You're not just the average Joe doing average things.
Yeah.
You are the best of the best when it comes to racing and being a true ambassador and a good human being in the world of motorsports. So tell me what that meant to you when you got nominated and then got that phone call.
Oh my gosh, so crazy. Yeah, I mean, there was over 2,000 nominations, and they limited it down to the top 25. So then after the top 25, and when I got the email that I was like top 25, I was like, no. We were in Arizona. My daughter's like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So crazy. I wanted it. I didn't think it would happen, but I went for it. And so then people in the motorsports industry, I'm not exactly sure who they are, but some Hoosier uppers and other companies in the motorsports, they vote. And then they open it up to voting on the outside. So people vote out here.
Yeah, I voted.
That's my girl. That's my girl. So it's funny because this guy one time said, because I do a lot of just testing. We just want to put on a show. Like, we love the fans. We're all about the show.
Right.
And so this one guy one time made a comment, which wasn't the nicest. He said something like, you don't even win races. And I thought, but I win hearts. Absolutely. I'd rather win hearts than races. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and that's one thing too, just to kind of get off track very briefly. It's not always about winning races. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when they're going for sponsors or whatever. It's return on investment. It's publicity. It's notoriety. Right. It's how are you reflecting a positive image on the brands that you represent with what you're doing. And it's not always winning races, because I've seen plenty of people that win races that I would not want to associate with.
Right.
So that doesn't matter. That's a bonus. Absolutely a bonus. Right. But that you are a good person and represent, that type of racing or motorsport or whatever on such a positive, note, that's way more important. So I think whoever that was, needs a little education on how these things work.
Aww.
So, and you didn't really tell anyone that you won right away.
No, we weren't allowed to. We didn't know for a long time. I mean, I was like, I was dying, honestly. It was brutal waiting. And then, then we weren't allowed to tell anyone. And actually, you posted it before anybody knew. No, we wouldn't tell anybody yet.
Oh, no. I hope I didn't get it.
That's okay. Nope. So, but yeah, I saw that. I go, she announced it. But no, it was super cute. Then you brought our friend over. And
Carlos.
What, Carlos?
Yep.
Yep. And and the Bob was there, and I saw Tess, Miss Maverick was there.
Yes.
My friend Ashley Mark, who is my woman crush. She lives in Chicago, I think. She's a baddie. She's awesome. And there was just some really nice support, and yeah, it was beautiful. But I mean, what an honor. Truly an honor to be a Hoosier Hero and ambassador for the Hoosier brand. I've been chasing them for 5 years, so.
Well, you got them, and it's definitely well deserved. And obviously, you're running their product anyway because you believe in the product and the quality, you know. And they help you win races, you know, and they help you do those wheelies and everything else. The tires aren't cutting loose, so I mean, definitely a good product that I know you're very proud to have on your car and promote. You know, so I mean, so many great things that you're doing. And for me, just on a personal note, obviously I didn't know until I bumped into you at PRI
right before they announced it.
And all you said to me, and it kind of makes me tear up a little bit too, that, hey, can you go over here at this time? You didn't even say anything. So full disclosure, she did not tell me anything. She just asked me to be at a certain booth at a certain time, and I went, oh my God, she got it. She did not tell me. I just assumed. So that is on me, not on her.
Gosh.
And it was the highlight of the weekend. And I had a lot of really great experiences personally.
Yeah, you look like you had a blast.
I had a blast. But seeing my friend on that stage, getting that purple jacket and that trophy. Go ahead and show the trophy again.
My trophy.
That meant so much to me because finally good people are getting recognized for good things.
Thank you.
You know, and thank you to Hoosier for developing a program that really does focus on the positivity and good actions and community outreach and everything good that people do that are associated with motorsport. So thank you, Hoosier, for that.
Amen. Love it. They're so awesome.
They are.
They're so great.
So, and now I'm going to switch gears, no pun intended at all. You know, here in Southern California, I mean, to me, it used to be just this mecca of drag strips and racetracks. It's the Golden State, and we're losing them. And with the most recent being Irwindale. And I know that one really cut you deep. That is your home. That is your family. I know you even have a piece of the drag strip still with you.
Yeah.
You know, and I know, I mean, that's got to be
devastating. Devastating. You know? So, yeah, it was closing right. They closed the drag strip after like December 9th, I think it was the race. And we go to PRI a couple days later.
Wow.
That was hard. So I didn't even have time to comprehend it, take it in, you know. Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I was so busy I couldn't dwell on it because I could have been in bed for weeks on that one. It's more of my home than my home.
Right.
I mean, I love that place. That place brings my heart joy. Like I've never felt joy like that, like I do there.
Well, and I think you're not alone when it comes to that. So many people, I mean, you saw the outpouring of love and support. And I know that there was a pretty hard battle fought trying to save it. And at the end of the day, it was a business decision. And this may be wrong information, what I heard. And we know how accurate that can or cannot be. But I heard it was sold for $93 million.
Something like that.
It was a significant amount of money. And I know that any logical person is like, wow, you just, you know, it's a business decision, but still we're losing drag strips. And California is so compact with our populace that where do you build one? It's so hard. So where are you? Actually, let me back up before I go there. How is this impacting? Obviously, you've been involved with No Prep, and you know some of those people come from illegal street racing. How do you think that's going to change street racing here in Southern California?
I don't think it's going to help. That's for sure. I don't see it helping the cause of keeping the kids off the streets racing. They don't have a place to go now. So, I mean, some kids are like, well, I guess I'm going to go to the street, you know.
Have you heard that, though? Have you heard those comments made?
Lots of them.
Gosh.
Yeah. I mean,
And that breaks my heart because again, the NHRA was founded because of this back, for those of you that don't know, back in 1951 by Wally Parks, again, to provide a safe and controlled environment so you could go and do this. And because too many people were getting killed or injured. And so we're going to see an uptick of that. And then I know some of the tracks, but I'll let you go ahead and plug what tracks we have left and where do you plan on racing this year?
Well, I mean, Bakersfield, Famoso, that one will be going up there. And everything from our house is at least 2.5 hours away minimum. Where we're 10 minutes from Irwindale.
Yeah.
I could just go out there anytime I wanted. I was like, oh, I'll go see I'm not racing, but I'll go hang out there,
Right.
And then Verona out in like San Diego area, that track, Chuckwalla, that's a no prep event. That's a no prep track out in Desert Center. That's about 3 hours away, I think.
Okay.
We like to hit Wild Horse Pass. Never run there.
That's a good track.
Phoenix,
that's a really good track.
My daughter lives out there, so we'll get to make an event of it. And Vegas, never ran there either.
Perfect.
So it's gonna force us to go do more more locations that we haven't done, but it's gonna cost a lot more money, so it'll be a lot less.
It's gonna cost a lot more money, and I'm hoping that some people will see this video and see all the good that you do and what a great ambassador you would be to their brand, their service, their product, whatever it is, and support your vision, support your racing habit, we'll call it, which is a good habit to have.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyone watching, I ask you to reach out to Kelly, give her, help her out, whether it's financially with product or just something, because it all adds up at the end of the day. And she is doing so much good for the drag racing community that she's entitled to that. She deserves that. Aww. And she will represent your company and brand just better than anybody out there. I can say that with 100% sincerity, because I've seen it firsthand.
Oh, it was a whirlwind the day you came out to Irwindale. I felt bad. But you were a trooper. You just hung in there. You just went along with it, and it was.
Oh no, I was just so excited. I was so grateful that you invited me to be a part of your event, your day, and welcome me into your home, essentially. Yeah. So that was just such an honor for me to have that invitation.
Well, we loved having you. Oh, we love having you out there. I mean, you just fit right in. I love people like that. That's like the best.
I love it. Well, and then now what's really cool, this is the thing. I know it's going to cost more money, and you've been kind of sticking locally to local tracks for obvious reasons, but look at the impact that you've made here. And now look at the impact you are going to make at all of these other tracks. You are going to be sharing your love, your spirit, your passion for so many. And I think you're going to really be recruiting inadvertently to the sport where people go, I want to do that.
I love that.
And that's all you. That is you. And I know you're very humble, so it's probably kind of hard to.
I'm always humble, but
I know
really sweet.
But it's sincere. And that's why I was so excited to have you on, because people need to get to know who you really are. You're more than just the drag racing grandma. That's cool. I'm a grandma. I'm not a drag racer. I'm an enthusiast. I'd probably be way too competitive and not a very nice person if I ever got behind the wheel. You'd see Allison versus Allie, two very different people.
I love it.
I think we'll stick with Allie for now. I'd rather promote and, highlight the good that's in drag racing, which I love so much. So, and I know there's a lot of people that have made this possible for you. Mm-hmm. Who are the sponsors? Who are the friends, family, people that you would love to show a little gratitude towards?
Okay, absolutely. So SoCal Nitrous, Jim Tanner, he came up to us at the track a couple years ago and said, would you like to be sponsored? And I said, yes, please. Our first sponsor. It was so awesome. Well, actually, I had gotten sponsored by another nitrous guy first. And my friend, I won't mention her name, she reached out to me and said, beware, this guy, not Jim, this other nitrous business company is not a good guy. And I was like, but I really want to be sponsored, so I'm just going to go with it, but I appreciate the heads up. Well, the guy was a jerk, and so much drama happened, and then And there's like, the picture of the Jesus and the little girl's got the bear. She's like, but Jesus, I want it. And he's got a bigger one behind his back. That's the nitrous guy. And then Jim Tanner with so I got something better for you. Because he's legit. He's a great guy. His crew's awesome. They're the best. Oh my gosh. So SoCal Nitrous out in Downey, and they have one in Westminster. So grateful for them. And then Quality Powder Coating in San Diego. Sean Killian, he does any of my powder coating that I want done. Super grateful for him. Tony Thacker, my marketing mentor, connected me with him. And Tony Thacker took me under his wing, and I always go, I don't understand why you took me under your wing. Like, because he's a very established man. And he said, you know what, you're a go-getter. And I like what you're about. And I saw it meant so much to me. And then we have, let's see our other spot. Then we have Reggie Humans, my tuner. I love Reggie. Oh, he's the best. He makes Stacey do things that she shouldn't do, Crazy. We don't get it. But whatever he does on the computer, I'm like, woo, do that again.
I love it.
And then, of course, Maria and my husband, Paul. Martin Charles Racing. He is our race car technician. He doesn't work on Stacey a lot. But when he does, he is the man. He works on pro mods. He's like legit.
I think I met him there at Irwindale.
Oh, you might have with his son, Seth.
I think so. They came you were having some trouble with your car, and they came over, I think.
I'm not sure. I don't remember if he was there that day. Might have been.
I think so. Yeah.
Might have been. Awesome. Okay. So Martin Charles Racing, MVP Auto, Mike. He's great. Aeromotive Fuel Systems. So, oh my goodness. I'm drawing a blank. He's my friend. Oh, I can't think of his name right now.
It'll come to you. Come to you.
Terrible. Oh. Enzo has been great to us with Aeromotive. He's a great guy. I saw social media. I was like following him forever since day one. And I was like, who is that guy? And they're like, that's Enzo. I'm like, he's hilarious. Yeah. His videos were great. And so we connected, and then they partnered with us. Arias Piston, CP Carrillo, of course, Hoosier, HPS Auto Marine Fred. He built my motor. He built the last two motors for us, and he's awesome. He busted his butt to get me back to the track because he knew we were running out of time, and he got the new motor put in, not put in, but built quick. Sorry to all the other people that he's building motors for, but he got me in and out quick.
I love it.
Love. And he was coming out to the track towards the end, which I never saw him out there ever. Reggie introduced us to him.
Okay.
Outlaw Race Engines, Texas Speed and Performance, TCI, Total Cost Involved, and Willwood Disc Brakes. So those are our partners. We have two sponsors where they cover our supplies, and then the partners give us discounts on parts, which is awesome. Because every dollar counts.
Absolutely. Now, let's do this. Let's change it up a little bit. What do you need? Obviously, money is great.
Yeah.
But if you're going for a sponsor or somebody that can help you with product, anything, what do you need? What would make the 2025 season a little bit easier for you?
Gosh, I don't know that side of it. I'm the driver.
Where's the husband when you need him?
Right, honey, where are you? Oh, yeah, he's at work making the race car fund.
But I'm sure you could probably use some spark plugs.
Oh, yeah. NPK. Is it NPK? NPK?
NPK.
Yep. Those, the oil filters, Moroso. Oil. I thought we were going to be partnering with Modal, but that hasn't come through yet. So oil.
So more of the consumable type things that you need regularly. So you guys are open to anything right now. You're set on a fire suit, helmet, all of that stuff, safety gear.
Yeah, I have sort of new. I have a Simpson fire suit that we got at the intro, and it's already getting like war, and it's not that old. I was pretty surprised because they're a high up there company, and I have the gloves. I have a really nice helmet. I have a Hans device.
Nice.
I really want to get, but I can't afford it. The what is it called? The hybrid Hans device. That's what I really want, but it's like $1,000.
All right. Anybody out there willing to donate $1,000 or to purchase the product for her? this keeps her safe. It keeps her alive, and she's saving lives as it is with her mentorship. So let's keep Miss Kelly alive and safe so she can keep spreading her message. So anyone willing to do that, and again, she's going to be a great ambassador for you. So, and anything else that I know you're very gracious and accept any help that you can get when it comes to racing, and and you're going to represent their brand well. And I know you do more than racing. You do car shows, which I just found out yesterday. You and I are actually going to be at the English Classics Supercar Show Saturday, August 23rd. From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hesperia Leisure League Senior Center. So I am so excited because I will be judging, one of the judges for the Pinup Girl contest. So I was all excited, and you are, I believe, as well.
Yes. She asked me, I think this morning or yesterday, if I would be a judge. I got to judge the last one, and I think the last car show was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we talk about VIP treatment. It was amazing. They had all these snacks in the room for us. And it was so well set up. They worked hard. Yeah. I can't believe how much they do. Her and Brian and then her crew. They're amazing. So yes, we got to judge the pinup contest, and that was so much fun.
I love it.
Fun. I can't wait to work with you.
Yay! I know we'll probably cause some shenanigans and get into some trouble, but that's okay.
But Tanya and Brian Inglis are awesome. Such great people, and they're really in it. They live it.
I love that. And and to me, it's, even if you bring your kids or a friend to a car show, it doesn't necessarily have to be a racing event. You might trigger that nerve or flip that switch where, oh, that car reminds me of Grandpa. I want to do that. And then they're still actively involved in motorsports, even if it's the nostalgia side of things of just rebuilding and putting a car on display. But you never know. They still may end up at the track, and it's still supporting motorsports and everything automobile. So, I think that's fantastic. Do you do any other car shows throughout the year?
Oh yeah, we do lots of car shows. I'm a board member for Cal Rod's Car Club, which was crazy because we hadn't even been in the club for a year, and I got on the board. Russ, I don't know how to say his last name. My friend Russ was the vice president of the Cal Rods. He just became vice president, and we were at the NHRA, and we had gone to the Chino Car Show where we met Russ. And I gave him my card. Well, he comes running up. He's like, I can't find your card. I'm the new vice president. Would you bring some of the girls of Irwindale to our club meeting and share a little bit about what you do? And so me, Jacelyn Gonzaga, Maria, and another young lady went over and did a couple-minute speeches. And he goes, we want to liven it up. We want to change things up with the car club now that I'm on the board. And honestly, we have. It is so awesome to be able to do that. And I love it.
I love it. You are doing so much. And just look at your smile now. You're you're so radiant, and I think you make everybody smile. When you smile, you make everyone around you smile. You just have that positive energy. And so it's really been a pleasure to get to know you, over the past couple years. And I look forward absolutely for our friendship to continue. And I know that it will, without a doubt. I know that it will.
That's right.
Is there any last, absolutely. Is there any last words or anything else that you would like to say before we go?
No, I think we really covered it all.
I think so too.
I really appreciate you having me on. Seriously, it's so sweet of you to ask.
It is absolutely my pleasure. I believe in you. I believe in everything that you're doing. And I think it's about helping each other out, helping the growth. And, if it helps maybe change the life, get a sponsor. If an ounce of good comes out of it, then everything's worth it. And that's what we should be doing, is helping each other out at the end of the day. Showing kindness and compassion, and just, and promoting the sport. That's what we do.
Absolutely. We live for it.
Awesome. All right, Kelly. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week on Top End Talk with Nitro Allie. I look forward to seeing everybody again next week, and we will definitely be catching up on the top end. Until next time, good night, everybody, and we'll see you later.
Bye. Thanks, girl.